Welcome to Spidel's California Minute. I'm your host, Catherine Zidane, and this week we're covering 10 tips for changing California residency. These tips were originally provided by Eric Koffel, whose practice includes advising high net worth individuals on matters including California residency and sourcing issues. We have an expanded version of these tips, plus more information on moving out of California in our 2022 post-tax season update and review webinar. You can order the on-demand version at caltax.com under the Webinars tab. Although it's not impossible to change residency, someone who wants to move out of California has to truly relocate to the new state and sever ties with California, which is not as easy to do as it sounds. Here are 10 items in no particular order that clients should be aware of if they want to survive a residency audit. First, break all meaningful ties with California. It's not enough to build new ties with another state if ties with California do not significantly decrease. For example, keeping the family home in California or continuing to use longtime professionals in California can cause problems in an audit and should be carefully thought out. Build solid new ties with another state that are, at a bare minimum, comparable to the ties in California. It's not enough to break California ties if you don't reestablish yourself permanently somewhere else. Any return trips to California after the move need to be for a temporary or transitory purpose. Returning back to California to visit family for vacations, for business trips, for medical treatment, etc., should all be fine as a non-resident as long as they're carefully managed. Also, watch the timing of the change. It's one thing to move out of California and successfully change your residency or domicile to another state, but precisely when did that change take place? Remember that auditors often take a dim view of residency changes that happen to occur just before a large income event, which can result in a tougher burden to show a genuine move took place. Watch out for California source income issues. Consider and understand if there's income that has a California source, because a change of residency won't keep that income from being taxed by the FTB. Non-resident sourcing was a major issue in the infamous Hyatt residency appeal, which dragged on for years. Be careful of conduct after the move, too. California has a 4-year period to audit the return, and the FTB may assume that a taxpayer really didn't move in year 1 after all if they increased their ties back to California in the immediate subsequent years. Be aware that it's possible, although not frequent, that spouses may have different residences or domiciles, either as filed or as the result of an audit. If this is the case, keep in mind that community property needs to be divided between them. Document the move contemporaneously, which is always preferred in an audit over documentation created after the fact. Although it's common practice to obtain affidavits or declarations from the taxpayer, their friends, employers, or business associates in responses to issues raised by the FTB at audit. Be prepared for an audit and then be pleasantly surprised if it doesn't happen. The larger the potential tax effect from a change on audit, the more likely there will be an audit because of the way the FTB allocates audit resources. And last, remember that taxes are an expense that's part of life. So consider whether it's worth it to give up a medical specialist you have a 20-year history with in California just because it might strengthen a potential residency audit position. Choosing the best tax-driven decision might not be the same as the best life-driven decision. We also cover residency issues in our monthly California tax letter, and a subscription includes a searchable online archive of back issues, plus access to our quarterly strategic tax advisor for issues affecting business and high net worth clients. You can get details and subscribe at caltax.com under the Publications tab. That's all for this week. Join us next time for another episode of Spidel's California Minute.